Hey guys, this is Alyssa Sarvati, and this is my presentation on the government of the United Kingdom. So to start off, the first thing you see here is a logo. This first picture up here of the lion and the horse is the official logo of the government of the United Kingdom. So kind of like how we have logos for Democrats have a logo, Republicans have a logo. This is kind of their logo for the government. Down below that, the picture below that, you see a small logo, and then it says HM Government. The United Kingdom's government is also known as the HM Government, so it's kind of like their little abbreviation, HM Government. So to start off, I'm going to go over a couple facts about the United Kingdom's government. So the first one, the United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy with a queen and parliament that has two houses, the House of Lords with 574 life peers, 92 hereditary peers, and 26 bishops, and the House of Commons, which has 651 popularly elected members. The next fact is England has existed as a unified entity since the 10th century. It's a long time. Right now, the Prime Minister of the Conservative Party is David Cameron, who was appointed by Queen Elizabeth II in 2010. Last little fact, the government is dependent on Parliament to make the primary legislation, which means that a government in practice must seek re-election at least every 5 years. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about government and Parliament. And before I start, actually, the full definition of Parliament, if you don't know, is the highest legislator consisting of the sovereign, the House of Lords, and the House of Commons. So it's basically just the highest legislator, to put it in easier words, but those are just kind of the branches of it. So here we go. In the UK's constitution, a key principle is that the government is responsible to Parliament. This is called responsible government. Ministers are responsible to the House, which is where they sit and make statements in that House and take questions from members of that House. Most senior ministers are elected into the House of Commons. The Prime Minister has to always be an elected member of Parliament and is therefore accountable to the House of Commons. So the Prime Minister has a really big job. Also, when I said most senior ministers are elected in the House of Commons, I forgot to add in there also, sometimes there are, times when they will elect them in the House instead of the House of Commons, just sometimes, but usually they are. So I want to add that in. And then if you look at the bottom right corner, we see this logo. This logo is owned by Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom for Parliament of the United Kingdom. So right there, that little logo. It's pretty cool. Moving on. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about government and the Crown. So you guys probably have all heard of Elizabeth II. And currently Queen Elizabeth II is the Chief of State of the United Kingdom. Although in government the Queen takes little part, she also must remain strictly neutral in political affairs, which I thought was kind of interesting. Below that, there's a picture of the Queen when she was young, the first picture. This picture was actually taken the first day the Queen was officially in power, so I thought that was really interesting. And then next to that, we have a picture of the Queen nowadays. She's a little bit older now, obviously, but those are some pictures of her. So I wanted to go over a few of the Queen's powers because I thought this was very interesting. I couldn't fit them all, but here are a couple of her domestic powers. The power to this is the first one. The power to dismiss and appoint a prime minister. This power is exercised by the monarch herself. In theory, she may choose a prime minister of her own choice, though in practice she must appoint the individual most capable of commanding a majority in the House of Commons. Second, the power to dismiss and appoint a prime minister. This power is exercised by the monarch herself. In theory, she may choose a prime minister of her own choice, though in practice she must appoint the individual most capable of commanding a majority in the House of Commons. The power to dismiss and appoint other ministers. This power is exercised by the prime minister alone. One below that, the power to grant or refuse royal assent to bills, making them valid in law. That's what our president does, but instead the Queen has power to do that in the UK. This is exercised by the monarch, although no monarch has refused to grant royal assent to a bill passed by Parliament since Queen Anne in 1708. Below that, the power to commission officers in the armed forces. That's a really big power. I thought that was kind of cool. The power to command the armed forces of the United Kingdom. This power is formally exercised by the Defense Council. The power to issue and withdraw passports. This is exercised by the Home Secretary. The power to grant prerogative of mercy. Though capital punishment is abolished, this power is still used to remedy errors in the sentence calculation. That's kind of cool because, you know, Queens back a long time ago used to have power to like kill people and not to kill people, to sentence people to their death. Obviously it's abolished now, but they still have power to remedy errors in sentence calculation. So that's, you know, it's pretty cool to think about. And the last one is the power to create corporations via royal charter, not character. The power to create corporations via royal charter. Sorry, stumbling a little bit. Okay, so one of my last slides, I think this is my last slide. I did this thing where I kind of am comparing the differences between the U.S. government and the UK government. So, to start off, the UK is a constitutional monarchy. In this case, a representative democracy with a monarch at its head. So if you look down the U.S. side, the first one, the USA is a republic. So that's one difference. The next one, looking at the second bullet point of UK, the Constitution of the UK is unwritten, which is a total difference compared to us having a written constitution. The third one is the UK government is not split into branches. The House of Commons reigns supreme, and the party with the greatest number of members of the Commons is the governing party. The U.S. government is split into branches. We have quite a few branches there. Fourth, there are no primaries in British elections, whereas here there are primaries. And the last one is, in the UK, there are not set dates for general elections. A government by law can last no longer than 5 years, but the election may be called at any time inside that period. In the U.S., we set dates for our elections. I thought that was probably one of the biggest differences, other than not having our government split into branches. But, you know, if you really think about it, we are so much different. Our government is so much different from other governments. So I have one more slide other than my references, and that is, I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about people being born into power versus being elected? Do you think it's right? Do you think they should have more knowledge? Tell me. Comment below this video. Do you think the Queen should have as much power as she does? Because she has a lot of power. And the very last one is, what do you agree/disagree with in the UK government? So here's my sources, and that's it. This is my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to comment below so we can have a discussion on what we all think about the questions, and thank you for watching. Bye.